Yeah, we should be live now, I think. So yes, welcome. We've got myself, Adam, and Luke, New Way Growth, discussing social media trends and some of the things that we've been researching and looking at, and some of the stats that we've been pulling together to keep us abreast of what needs to happen in the digital marketing world. I did a post recently that was sort of like saying social media use around the world, and total number of active social media users is now 4.2 billion. Social media users as a percent of the global population, 53.6%. We have an annual change in global media users as of Jan 21 is up 13.2%, so up 490 million. And total social media users accessing via mobile, 4.15 billion. So percentage of total social media users accessing via mobile, 98.8%. Now, for me, that one there is a big one. Now, we had this discussion a little while back, me and you and others, around mobile. Yeah. And it's quite interesting because, yes, mobile, without a doubt, at 98.8%, you need to be optimized for mobile.
Yeah.
But when we look at some of the social media stuff, it's actually the desktop is just as bad, if not worse in some cases. So you really have got to, in the market today, this digital market today, make sure your desktop and mobile is fully optimized, fully sorted.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been with me. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think if you think about the purpose of social media for a lot of businesses, obviously you want to get people on your page and engaging with your page and keeping them on those social media platforms, potentially messaging you through from there. But also it's about when people go onto your social media and there's links to your website. So while we talk about social media users being 98% of the overall use of social media being on mobile, if people are then going from your social media pages to your website, you need to make sure your website is primarily sort of geared towards mobile users as well. Because ultimately, like I said, if you want people to go from social media to your mobile, so to your website, then that needs to be up and running. Otherwise, they're just going to leave your website and your social media presence is not going to have the effect that you want it to have.
Yeah, and again, we come on to some of the SEO stuff later. It's also about your website, and the content on your website really needs to be optimized for SEO. But above all else, there needs to be content on there, not 100 words per page. So that's another thing that you have to watch for within this, from the digital marketing point of view. So again, coming on to top 8 platforms to market your business in 2021. Now, a lot of this stuff has been pulled from the research we do across Hootsuite and Social Media Today, and there's other ones as well that we've looked at. But this one, these top 8 platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat. That's just 2021. And I'm surprised that YouTube wasn't on there, particularly because the next subject we're going to discuss is video. So I was really surprised that YouTube wasn't there.
Well, there's only 7 on that list of the data that they say is 8. So I'm wondering if YouTube potentially is the 8th one that they've missed out from the data that we've got. Yeah, but like you said, the video side of things is absolutely massive. I think across all social media platforms, it'd be pretty safe to say that video drives the most engagement. You can gather a lot more data from video in terms of some of the stats, simple things like total watch time, and how long people are actually staying on your videos for, whether that's an advert or whether that is a promotional video that you're not paying for, really valuable stats. And you can actually then look to retarget people who have stayed for the duration of that video, and suggest things to them in the future. And you can't do that with an image. But on the other side of that, with video, like you said, Adam, across social media and particularly YouTube, absolutely huge. And I think YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world behind Google. So that just shows you how valuable that platform is. And with the way that people are going now and engaging with video, you could potentially see that creeping even closer to Google moving forward, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, the other ones on there, I mean, I can understand TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, and the top ones. But the one that surprised me on there was Pinterest.
Yeah.
I use this. I use that to collate data, to collate information that I can come back to and read and gen up on. I never really thought of it as a platform to market. It's not really, because I've stuck with the top four as normal, and then mixed in with others as well. So that really surprised me. I mean, have you used Pinterest much?
I think it depends on the business. Personally, I've used it for sort of ideas in terms of marketing materials. It's great for that. I think product-based businesses do really well on there because you can get some really good SEO within Pinterest for certain keywords around your products and services. And if you can get appearing on that first page and then get people to then view your website after they've seen a really appealing image on Pinterest, that's a really, really valuable tool. So I think it does just depend on the business. Service-based businesses potentially not as effective on there, but I'm sure there's been some that do a bit. So yeah, I think it just depends on what you're trying to use the platform for, but it can be a really, really good platform. And like I said, I think it's easier on that maybe to potentially get some good SEO compared to another image platform like Instagram, where you're relying on hashtags, but the number of users on there using hashtags on Instagram, if you're promoting your product on Instagram via hashtags, it might get flushed away quite quickly with the amount of posts on there. However, with Pinterest, with that SEO on there, you might be able to do some really good things on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree. Now, so we're talking about video in YouTube, and surprise on there, and well spotted, because I didn't spot that around the 8 and they've only put 7 up there. Is video predicted to be bigger in 2021? Now, for me, it's still one of the most powerful tools to connect and engage with your customers and your prospects. You can see what we're doing here from a LinkedIn perspective, and this is going across Facebook into a Facebook group and Facebook page. So stats, I mean, I'll let you read some of the stats out.
Yeah, I mean, we've got, 93% of consumers said that video is helpful when purchasing a product. I think that's more to do with the fact that you can get a lot of information across within a video, even a 30-second video, because you have that combination of sound and images compared to an image, which, you don't want to be stuffing your posts with loads of text. It's not going to be appealing. So a video can do that really, really well. 71% of consumers have purchased after watching a brand's video on social media. Again, that's more towards the sort of awareness side of things. And again, that comes down to education. If you've not heard of a brand before, a video can really get across their brand values, the products that they offer, and their sort of what they stand for as a business, which can then lead you to investigating further and ultimately making a purchase, as 71% of people have done. And then, consumers have said that video is their favorite type of content to watch from brands on social media. So if you're creating content which people are really engaging with and enjoying, that's only going to be a beneficial thing, isn't it, to your brand?
Yeah, I mean, again, with the video, the top 3 platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know whether Instagram surprised me or not, but I think it's the interaction and engagement, particularly with stories. I think it is within Instagram videos.
Yeah,
from what I've researched and understood.
I think as well, I think the sort of Instagram TV and Instagram Reels and things like that, a lot of people are now going on there and storing video content within that. And I think that's, again, depending on what is it a brand? Are you an influencer? Are you a business that's got a lot of products and you want to do a lot of demonstrations? I think that can work really, really well too. And that is stored on there as well for that content. So yeah, again, it goes back to that point. Depends on what you're looking for. But yeah, like you said, 74% of consumers said they do engage with ads on Instagram stories. So getting in front of people in short and sharp piece of video content may even be better than those longer promotional videos that you see on other platforms.
Yeah, I mean, still the top one for me is the first one you read out. 93% of consumers said video is helpful when purchasing a product. I mean, I know I do. If I'm going into purchase something, the first thing I do is see if I can get a video or watch a video on it, whether it's a review on a piece of hardware or something like that. I will go and watch a video on it. So it is, very, very high.
Yeah.
Which then brings us, I suppose, onto the social media and there's a lot in there with this privacy. I know privacy and fake news. I know Facebook and Apple and driving on the privacy. I think Google are becoming involved with it as well around the privacy side. But again, it's that forming that trust with customers. It's become harder because of this fake news. And I think some of it is believing some of the advertising text as well. And I think this is where video is very, very strong at helping and supporting that trust side. And again, for me, it's about building that relationship marketing approach. Not necessarily come and be my friend, but building that approach. I think there were some stats on this one. What was it?
63% of social media users feel consumer ratings are the number one thing to look out for, and 70% of consumers believe customer opinions more than double those that trust adverts. So, if you're seeing a customer opinion on social media, it can be really important. But I want to just bring in here, Adam, as well, on the privacy side of things, slightly separate, but in terms of security, and maybe not security in the sense of passwords, but more people feeling secure and safe on the platforms in terms of monitoring things like racism and hate online. And I think that sort of links into this video being about social media trends in the future, where it might go. It's a lot more AI and machine learning potentially coming in. That could alleviate the issue there of that fake news and privacy, because you could have machine learning monitoring what's getting posted and what's not. And I think that then maybe draws a line, potentially being careful about the amount of censorship that these platforms can do, because we've seen with Cambridge Analytica and etc. scandals involving promoting to certain people and stopping certain views being put on there. So there is some discrepancy between whether that's right or wrong, and whether social media channels should be able to do that. But I think on issues such as racism and hate, I think they are now, the algorithms are so far developed that there should be no excuse that an AI or a machine learning algorithm cannot go through across the platform and ban certain words being tweeted, ban customer accounts who use them. And I think moving forward, that will make the platforms a lot more enjoyable places to be for people. And ultimately, that's going to help everybody out. People are going to go on there, watch more video, engage more with the platforms. But I think that's where it should go in the future. Whether or not it does, it comes down to probably money and time for the social media platforms. Are they losing money by this? If not, will they make the change? But that's where I think it should go in the future.
Yeah, I'm absolutely agreeing with you, because I think it will just make the whole engagement with the platform just a lot better. A lot more engaging, a lot more fun to be in and around that. You'll get a lot more out of it. Mm-hmm. Again, I think when we talk around these stats, there seems to be an increasing importance, and I've always said this as a differentiator with the customer experience. If you've got your customer experience, it's a differentiator, both positive and negative. So you've got to be very, very careful, but it can be a differentiator on this. So again, it's a think about the customer experience, think about the customer satisfaction, and attract new customers online and in person. It all helps with word of mouth and everything. And I think I picked up on here, they were saying that the social media, it needs to shift away from promotional and advertising. It's now saying it's one of...
Not too sure if that's me or Adam that's gone. I think it may be Adam. Both those guys. His internet's gone down, I think. Somehow the stream's still up. Here he is. He's back.
We're back.
Dead air. There's dead air of me just looking into a screen thinking it was my internet then.
No, I think I don't even. It wasn't my internet either, so I don't know whether something has happened within StreamYard there. So I do apologise for that. Yeah, I can only apologise for that. Wi-Fi down, and we're back on again though now. So where did we get to? We were saying around the social media. Have we done the social media one?
Yeah, I think we were just going to, weren't we, in terms of the shifting from promotion advertising and people, not really liking that. I think I had a note there about, currently platforms like Facebook, the engagement for organic posts is terrible compared to what paid advertising gets to. And I think if they want to retain people on those platforms, then they've got to put the focus back on organic content and getting some results out of that, compared to focusing primarily on just getting businesses to pay in order to get customers to engage. And I think that sort of does link to that point about customers becoming tired of paid adverts on social media. So I think in the future there needs to be a shift there. I think paid advertising is great, obviously, being biased in digital marketing world, but I think there needs to be a balance, and they need to improve somehow the organic engagement too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, this one for me was, when I was looking at this research, I've always known that SEO, we know this, the search marketing is a big player. But I was quite surprised with some of this. Google is obviously the master at it. There's no two ways about it. And search marketing overshadows the reach brands are able to get on social media platforms by a massive margin. Top stat here, SEO drives 1,000% more traffic than organic social media. That surprised the hell out of me, that one.
Yeah, it's great. It is crazy.
Yeah.
It's a massive number.
I mean, with some of the other ones here is, and because this, you're the pay-per-click and search marketing expert from our side and your side as well. That really did surprise the hell out of me.
I think if you think about how a search engine works compared to a social media post, a social media page, the social media page, the posts will appear on your feed whether you're looking for them or not, based on the fact that you like or follow a page. Or a paid advert will appear on your feed based on your data, whether or not you want to see it, compared to a search engine whose primary role is to send people to a website based on their search terms and suggest the best results for that search term, So, if you think about it, on Facebook, you probably see, how many posts would you see? 1 in 10 posts on Facebook that you might click on. Whereas if you think about Google search, if a website is appearing at the top of Google search results, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to click the top one and have a look at it, because you want to see the best results, and that's been put at the top for a reason. So while that stat is a bit mind-blowing, 1,000% more traffic through SEO than social media, you can see how that would work. And it is just based on customers' intent and users' intent, because they are searching for these terms and these websites, compared to the way people do use social media and digest the content on there.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at some of these stats here, what we've got, 60% of online experiences begin with a search. Whenever, even when you purchase something, what do? You start off with a search on the internet. It's where you go.
Yeah.
39% of purchases are influenced by a search. What's the other one? 51% of smartphone users have discovered a new company or product when conducting a search. I thought that was high, particularly from mobile. So again, it just emphasizes the importance of mobile.
Yeah, absolutely.
Backlinks was the other one on here, one of the top 3 ranking factors. You got to work on those backlinks within your website. And one of the other ones was top ranking page in Google search has an average of 31.7% click-through rate, which you can understand as well.
Yeah, 1 in 3 people clicking the top result on a Google search is pretty good going. I think with the paid advertising stuff, that's why SEO can potentially be better in terms of click-through rates. You might get 10 times less on an advert, because users might see an advert and think, okay, well, I'm going to look at the natural organic results first. So if they see the top organic result compared to the top advert, they're probably more likely to click the organic. sometimes. However, some users don't know the discrepancy between a paid advert and an organic listing. So it can work both ways. But yeah, 31% is a really, really high click-through rate. 1 in 3 people clicking on the top search result. So yeah, if you can get all that traffic and capture 30% of the traffic that searches for certain keywords a month or a year, then you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. But there is a caveat. There's a caveat with this one, isn't there? There's getting the click, but then it's actually what they do when they get to your content. So your copy and creative and your content has got to be spot on in drawing them into taking that action as well. So, it's all about measuring and understanding what's happening. If you're getting the click through, but you're not getting the engagement, or you're not getting the take up to whatever it is, a gated content or whatever, then it's your copy and creative that's on there. So you need to go and look at that.
Exactly. And it's just about that journey, like finding which stages are working well. If you're not getting traffic on your website, what can you do to improve that? SEO, social media, paid adverts, potentially. If you're getting loads of traffic to your website and you're not getting results, then it's probably your user website experience, potentially not optimized for mobile, like we touched on earlier. And then if they are enjoying the website, going loads of pages and then not taking action, is it your product or service that potentially the issue? Is there something to do there with price or something along those lines, USPs? So yeah, it's just about finding where it is, isn't it? And working out what to do.
Yeah, it does look like my Wi-Fi is playing up, and it keeps playing up, the swanning thing. So I do apologise for that. Marie has asked a question on here. What about Clubhouse? Question mark, question mark. Now, don't get me started. Clubhouse. The only thing I will say about Clubhouse, and I read this stat, I think it was February, there was something like 9.6 million downloads in February and April. And bearing in mind, this is when Android as well came online, April, the downloads were 900,000. So massive decrease in downloads, in particular with the point of Android. I think you either love it or hate it, Clubhouse.
Yeah. And I think another factor is that was the first one with the voice and the spaces. And now you've got Facebook and you've got Twitter integrating what they were known for in terms of the rooms into their platforms. People are already on these social medias. They've already got an account. So they're going to use those first to see if they like them. And that was actually the final point for me in terms of voice and the future of social media. Yeah, I think that's the big thing where I can see it going. More and more people now sending voice notes, whether that's on Snapchat, whether that's on a Facebook Messenger conversation, because it's more efficient to say what you want to say and send it to a person instead of typing it out. And I think linking to SEO, it's going to be really important for search engines to start recognizing how people are wording certain search terms. A website might actually want to be taking what people are saying rather than what people might be typing because of the way it goes in the future. So I think the voice is going to be really at the center of social media in the future.
Yeah, voice, I think, is going to be absolutely massive. There was a stat here already saying that 48% of consumers use voice assistants for general web searches. Now, if you've got that actually in place within your website as well, that is going to be the future side of driving it. And I know there's Andrew that's in our Facebook group is one of these specialists that looks at voice within search. So yeah, that is for me is one area that is going to be very, very on point moving forward, and something that we'll be looking at as well.
Yeah.
Wendy's just put up, I need to try using voice messaging. That's the thing is that when I look at, I'm 50 tomorrow. Don't start, Luke, before you start.
Wow.
When I look at my kids, who are not much younger than you, they're all use the voice. They're all replying by voice. He's walking upstairs. My lad is walking upstairs talking. I think he's talking to me. So who are you bloody talking to? I'm talking to Aaron. He's just left a message, and it's constantly like that. My daughter's the same. And I think it's great on LinkedIn. Fantastic on LinkedIn for the voice side for interaction. So yeah, definitely the voice side, Wendy, is a push. But yes, Mike, once again, my apologies regarding my Wi-Fi. It's been all right, and it just decided to play up now.
I didn't
Sorry, Luke.
I thought it was me, so apologies for the dead air that there was for about a minute there. I didn't realise it was me. I thought it might have been you, but yeah.
No, it's me. Yeah, so we do apologise for dead air. That's something that we don't do. And as with anything, if you want to talk to us, you can have a free session with us. Just go to bit.ly/NWG diary, and you can book in with us. So that's bit.ly/NWG diary, and you'll connect and get an appointment with us to talk anything digital marketing, social media, and content marketing, whatever you want to talk about.
That's it.
So yeah, thank you very much, and we shall see you again next time.